we do see Win pre-banning Zeo Arunka and Hazamarei pre-banning Sharon and Harsetti. It looks like he was kind of planning to give away the Renok, right? By banning the Sharon. Let's see how what plan he has against the Renok here.
Definitely not something that we were expecting for sure, I would say,
Yeah.
in terms of a Sharoon ban.
I mean, these guys definitely play against each other. They know like what each other play, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Otherwise, these bans wouldn't make too much sense on paper.
Are we gonna see FCC? I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
All right, so yeah, we do see the Lone Wolf Payra being picked up by Hazamarei and the Abyssal Euphine. Not what we were expecting in a Fallen Cecilia, so I reckon maybe that is positioning for playing a little bit more aggressive in response to what Wind might want to go for on the 2-3.
Yeah, the Euphine is definitely interesting. I was definitely expecting FCC personally.
What do you know about me?
And Wind goes straight for the Luna and FCC himself. I think Wind has a great 1-2-3 here. He has two openers that are very strong. He has probably the best knight in the game right now. And yeah, he has a very flexible way. He's very flexible in his 4-5 to close out his draft. Let's see what Haza picks here for himself. He picks DJB. We've seen DJB time and time again today. And he's been doing quite good for himself, if I have to say.
Definitely exceeding expectations, I would say.
Chooses to go with a Flan. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie though. I feel like Hazamarei is so weak to that Renok.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Especially not picking up the FCC early on and going for Euphine instead.
Yeah, like I'm thinking a one Renok S2 S3 is gonna turn Hazamarei's entire team to like 1 HP. And when with the Eligos, we saw him pick Eligos against Luna earlier, if I'm correct.
Yes, I believe so.
Obviously, that game he couldn't do anything because he got outsped, but I feel like there's nothing really threatening his speed here, so I think it's a great pick. Oh, are we gonna see Teiyu? And yes, we do see Teiyu.
Ooh.
I really like right side draft here. I think he nailed it. I mean, I just don't see him losing this one. He has Book and Luna. He has Renok Explosion. He has Teiyu, who's probably getting banned. He has Eligos, who is great against Flan. His draft all around is just really, really solid.
He definitely is taking full advantage of having first pick in game number 1. And Hazamarei goes for Wanderer Silk. That means that DJB must be on a really fast build.
Yeah.
Now, DJB did get changed for his Constellation to Taurus, so it does have the same speed as Amid now, so it's a little bit faster, but the base speed is still not exactly as fast as the likes of, Luna, Eligos, or Renok. But, we'll see. Hazamarei, is he prepared for this? Will Wind respect the Wanderer Silk? And he does. Ooh, Hazamarei's spot looks very, very tough here, but definitely winnable.
He gave up. He let open Teiyu here. Isn't that a little bit crazy?
We'll have to see. Into game number 1 we go. Wind versus Hazamarei in the semifinals in a best of 7. Renok is going to go ahead and get the first turn. He does have souls from the Luna, so he will be able to get a soul burn pushback to activate the Teiyu through the Abyssal Euphine. And he does go ahead and pilfer the DJB, and this S3 will do a ton of damage as he does not have Fallen Cecilia on his side for Hazamarei. Now S3 is coming out onto the Flan. Try to do a little bit of damage as it does penetrate, and it does not quite kill, but Teiyu is right here. S3 coming out. Will he be able to land the defense breaks? It is only 85% chance. And he does land the defense break on the Euphine and the Flan, but I think that's probably all you're going to need.
Yeah, I don't think he needs any other defense breaks.
Not even worth.
S1 coming onto the DJB, completely killing him off. No barrier inversion for him. Merciless Glutton pushing Wind's Luna a little bit forward as he already got the turn. And now Luna S2 at 22.8k HP going onto the Euphine. Counter coming up from the Euphine, but it won't do much as it's just an Aureus Knight, and it does kill the Flan through the splash, and that is going to be GG for Wind taking game number 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's much Hazamarei could do here from this spot. FCC mitigates a lot of the parry damage, so even if it's on Tooth, it won't do enough.
Mhm.
And obviously, Warrior's Yuffie is not going to do much damage either.
Yep.
Yep, there's FF from Hazamarei. Win taking a
Yep.
commanding 1-0 lead. But it is best of 7, so I mean, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Anyone can beat anyone. As the pre-bans start stacking, and the units obviously from the previous matches are not available, we're gonna see the depths of your account. Does Wind have enough to stop Hazamarei from coming back? Now we do see the Litica Sea Phantom Politis being banned out by Wind in game number 2, and Ilanev and Dragonbite Senya are banned on the side of Hazamarei.
We've seen a lot of
Still
Senya
quite-
pre-bans today.
We have, yeah, we have.
Maybe it's like something in the Asia meta.
Maybe. And again, we do see a very early Spirit Eye Celine when the Soul Denial units are still up in ML Arya and Valiant. And we know for sure that Wind has ML Arya, as that is his profile. So this is no winner-wish
point.
situation.
Good point.
You want me to straighten your hair?
And you go straight for the Lua. With Litica gone, Lua is still goes back to being as strong as last season, right? No
Yep.
Litica, no Pera. She is extremely strong.
A Taiwan being picked up by Wind on 2.
I was not expecting such an early A Tywin. We definitely don't see this unit as much as we used to.
I do think that, there have been quite a few Asia players I played against that do have like a 270 A Taiwan used as a defense breaker. So I don't know if that's maybe what is popular in the Asia server, but that's the only thing I can think of as to why you would go for A Taiwan so early.
Sounds pretty good, to be honest. Having a defense breaker that early is always strong. And I mean, we still have his passive. That's a great cleanser. Maybe for the Bryceria or something. If I had to guess.
You want to pick Bryce Syria with Spirit Eye Celine?
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you don't care about the
Yeah,
mark
just
that much, right?
an activate turn 1, yeah.
I mean, like the defense
see
break
it.
into Celine. Hazamarei going for a
Ooh.
hyper carry setup with the Conqueror on 3, as well as Araz. Conqueror probably on Sweet Miracle is pretty good against Lua, and she cannot as the Sweet Miracle does nullify the provoke.
Mm-hmm. Now, how is Wind going to respond to the Conquer Lily as being picked up by Hazamarei here?
Get ready.
Does pick Poly Janua.
Yeah. Paul says Shinua on 3-4. How do you feel about those two picks in response here, now?
It's honestly not bad if this is like a D-Gen Janua, if I had to say. But I'm D-Gen Politis rather. And yeah, Hazamarei obviously recognizes that, chooses to pick a very stable cleanser. As long as the Politis doesn't stun Celine as well, she will also be able to cleanse, right?
Mm-hmm. This could also be an ER Celine. I mean, we haven't seen Hazamarei play Celine today at all yet, have we? I don't recall.
Are you sure? I definitely think we've seen him play Celine. No, he had the really fast Celine that outsped the Fire Litica, remember?
Oh, yes, you're right.
And yeah, he goes for F10, which is a good pick, but there is a Lua that provokes her. Personally, I would have liked to see something like maybe like the Dilibet or something, or maybe like
So the Huayang last pick is it kind of almost looks like it's telling him he wants to ban the Celine, but obviously Hazamarei is going to play safe and just ban out the Huayang and not engage in any potential 50-50s. But I mean, you're right. I mean, this F10, is it faster than the Lua? That would be crazy.
Did we see Win pick a really slow Lua earlier? I think we did. I think against Lunar, he picked a really, really slow Lua. So maybe that's why he was confident in picking the F10. Let's see if that's the case.
Maybe, yeah. Into game number 2 we go.
It is the
Hazamarei is
case.
down 0-1, and Conquer Lilius will be able to get the first turn, and Hazamarei just has such a wide spread. That Fairy Tale Tenebria is definitely faster, and he's not going to hold the S3, so he doesn't proc that Politis on turn 1, potentially stunning him with Abyssal Crown. Soulburn S1 procking the Nimble Sword, going over into the Politis, taking her out of the game. S3 is now available. And we don't see Windrider proccing, so we know that
I like
this
that
is...
play. Good
Oh,
play.
that is nice. He's going to go for the Soulburn to proc the Janua, pushing him up 50% combat readiness with the Rage. And now that he has S3 available on Immortality, all the Janua can do is just do a bunch of damage, but he won't be able to get any value in terms of killing any units off of Hazamarei's team. Now Janua is going to have the S1 now. S1 going on to the ARAS. Will it be enough to put him to 1 HP?
Should be really close.
And it is not enough to put him to 1 HP. Fairy Tale Tenebria is going to be able to get the next turn now. Now, Hazamarei does go for the S3. Will we see the debuffs all land? And we do see the redirect provoke sticking on the Tywin,
That's
but
huge.
Hellion Lua is holding the immunity in place. Now, Lua's going to be able to get the S3. This will lock down the ARAS. Now, Tywin is not able to slam the S3, however. Wildcard's going to proc now.
Silence on A Tywin.
And it
too.
does kill off the Janua as well, as it did land a crit.
That's
A Tywin
silence.
is still silenced from the wildcard.
And
It's
crits.
huge. And now it crits with a counter from the Celine, putting that Tywin to almost 1 HP. Sweet Miracle finally proccing. He's going to be able to put the S3 now to put Vigor onto his entire team. And he still has S2 available. That is a really tanky Conquer Lilius. And Win, recognizing that he cannot bring the game back into his favor, surrendering, Hazamarei able to take a 1-1 back into his favor.
He managed to tie up the series as we kind of expected, honestly.
Yep.
When two players pretty strong go against each other, we expect the neck and neck series.
Without a doubt, 100%.
And yeah, he like I said, he was able to recognize that this Lua is on the slow end, picking his F10 into it without any fear.
Mm-hmm. That's why between these matches, like the players that are sitting in the lobby really got to pay attention to who they might fight in the next series, right? Like that's just got to be on your toes.
Yep, having info is really good. It's like being a follower attacker in Guild War. Like you get all the info, you can easily plan your team and stuff, and whatnot into it. When choosing to pre-ban Bryceria and Pera, two more openers, and Hazamarei does not want to give over the Pera. Seems like Asia players really have a high priority on the what's her full name? Something Pera?
Lone Wolf Pera.
Lone Wolf Pera. But this leaves Luna open without many openers left available. And obviously the best cleanser in Pera.
Yep. Valiant being picked up super early in the draft by Hazamarei in response to the Luna, though.
Yeah, he probably has some sort of plan here.
Definitely don't see Valiant being picked that early.
Yeah, definitely not.
I smell living creatures.
Oh my god.
That's
A Meru on 2.
Amaru is a unit that doesn't really care if she gets sealed.
I'll show you how I do.
And Win chooses to pick two knights to follow up his Luna with FCC and LRK. I'm not sure how much I like that, to be honest. I typically don't like playing slow Luna, but obviously both FCC and LRK are good against the Bellion, who is probably on 3F.
But this does give Hazamarei the opportunity to pick up some tempo in the draft.
Yeah, definitely. He picks DJB, as we've seen time and time again today against FCC. Having a secure cleanser on 3, which means he's able to pick a DPS on 4, and he does do that with the Afternoon Soak plan.
This is a great DJB spot. An amazing find by Hazamarei.
DJB might just be broken. We see him so much today. with great success.
He's definitely very strong, and I think the buff definitely helped him.
Get
Not
ready.
by making him super meta or anything, but definitely give him a little bit more playability. That's for sure. Now Eligos does get picked up to try to counteract the afternoon soak flan on 4 from Wind here.
We've seen him pull it out in game 1 already with great success. So,
Don't think you're leaving alone.
and the Amiki.
Um,
Ooh, I'm not sure how much I like the Amiki here.
yeah, I feel like he kind of slowed down his draft and just kind of going for the 1v4 versus some pretty tanky units, but
So honestly, it's not. Only reason I would say
not
it's
terrible.
bad is because you can't sober against Bellion, but other than that, it's not
Mhm.
that bad.
yeah.
You may be worth my attention.
More.
Good pickup.
Yep.
You have the secured cleanser in DJB on Hazamarei's side, and the Mort can completely nullify the Amigi from winning the game in a 1v4 situation. So I honestly think the Mort pick is, not bad. It's a pretty good pick to counteract that, especially if you're looking to position to ban the Eligos, which is exactly what he does.
Oh, I've been told news that Crickerbat is back and can play the next one.
Is he allowed to?
Yeah. Xiang
okay.
already told me he will allow it.
Okay. All right, now Luna is going to be getting the first turn here. S2 coming out, going on to the DJB. Now, Hazamarei does not have any form of mitigation right now, so every Luna S2 is going to do a good chunk of damage. S2 coming out actually does push back the entire team with the S2 and the barrier inversion, do quite a bit of damage. S3 is potentially going to be coming out, but he decides to go for an S1 with the flan instead to try to get all the damage out to nullify that LRK so that the Bellion can play the game.
Yep, I like that play by him.
All right, Hazamarei going to go for the S3 onto the LRK, try to bring it down as soon as possible. And that doesn't quite kill, but I believe the splash should kill.
Yeah, he could definitely.
Aomera is going to go for the S1 to seal onto the into the Luna. Counter is going to be coming from the Amiki. And now we're going to want to see if this Bellion will be able to tag this Fallen Cecilia. He does roll the effectiveness buff from the S2 passive. S3 coming forward, providing Bellion with defense buff, and S3 provoking onto the FCC, but the mitigation from FCC will have a little bit of the 3F damage. Falanas one coming out, not quite killing Luna, but very, very close. No counter from the
3F
Bellion
FCC.
either. And it is 3F FCC, so there is no Aureus in play. Which means when that FCC is able to get an S3, it will do a very good chunk of damage if it is able to get that turn this game. I don't know if it will, though. S1 dragging the flan forward with a little bit more healing from the DJB.
You kind of want to proc Amiki here, in my opinion.
Don't let them escape.
S1 coming out from Hazamarei, deciding to just go for the kill onto the FCC instead. S1 from Flan getting another focus stack, providing herself with that 100% evasion again. This will for sure be able to take out the Luna.
Will this be able to
Not
strip?
proccing, however.
This is your cue.
S1's coming out. Will it strip the Amiki?
Nope.
It does not. Amiki not countering either. Like Lunao said, there is no soul burn available for this Inheritor Amiki, so she has a very, very tall task in front of her. S3 coming out onto the Bellion. No counter.
Oh.
S1 with the attack buff. Uberi is coming through, not doing as much chip damage as you'd like.
Not even close.
Now, Wind is going to have to say a prayer because this Amiki has a huge job. Counter is proccing, though. No mitigation. Will DJB survive this? And it does with just a sliver of HP. Will this Inheritor Amiki be able to counter and win the game? Seal coming out onto the Miki, not mattering though. No counter. No strip coming out, obviously, as the passives were changed on Ameru. Flan will be getting another focus stack, and I don't imagine... And there it is. The surrender coming out from Wind, 2-1, going in favor of Hazamarei, taking up game number 3.
Great last 2 picks by Hazamarei. To really bring it back here for himself. Wind. I feel like every time a player chooses to slow down with a Miki and pray for the 1v4, they're really just like, throwing away any advantages they might have had. And I don't know. I don't really like it. It's similar to Celine, to be honest. Like, you're kind of hoping for the opponent to instead of being proactive, you're kind of being reactionary. And yeah, I don't like that too much.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times already, like throughout this tournament, and definitely you want to kind of keep the tempo and not leave the game into RNG because it is possible. But when the stakes are so high, you have to try to play to your advantages of if you can speed up or pick units that are going to give you a higher percentage to win.
I'm always open to new opportunities.
Now, Conqueror Lilius and Helion Lua are going to be banned out by Wind on the right side. Abyssal Yufine and Helion Lua are banned out by Hazamarei. Shu getting first picked immediately by Wind.
With no FCC, Shu is definitely really strong. But once again, we're going to
100%.
see Hazamarei go for the Celine.
Should we get started?
The stage belongs to everyone.
So Celine Araz being picked up by Hazamarei, and immediately Wind is picking up the tempo, picking up the Laya, and picking up the Blue Lua.
Lua is not the best against Celine because she could soul burn out of the reset. But obviously, Lua could put her to sleep.
Ain't no
Oh,
way.
Oh, I would really like to see that
Ain't no
here.
way. Ain't no way. Are we going to see the Faithless Litica on 3 from Hazamarei?
Immunity Athletica is definitely one of the.
I'm with you.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I mean, Celine is going to be able to try to punish some non-attack skills. And the Fire Lily is being picked up into the Blue Lua on the Ancient Dragon Legacy to try to counteract the reset from the Blue Lua with her passive on the exclusive equipment providing her the cleanse on S2. So it can counteract that Lua potentially. And Blood Moon Haze gets picked up by Wind as well.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I must say I don't like Wind's last two here. We saw AB pick Lua into Celine and have a lot of success with stuff like Litica and like F10 and whatnot. And I feel like instead of picking Haste and Monk, he could have picked combos with Lua S2 and just forget about the S3.
I would have to agree with you on that. But if Wind doesn't have those units geared or he's not confident after seeing the speed on this Spirit Eye Celine, maybe that's, one of the factors in why he doesn't want to go for that. And we do see the Faithless Litica get picked up by Hazamarei here.
That's a great point about the speed. We've seen the Celine outspeed some crazy stuff before. But I mean, why would you even pick Lua into Celine if you're not confident, right?
That is true. That is true. We'll have to see what gets banned out here. And Faithless Litica gets banned out on Hazamarei's side, and Nakwal is going to be banned out on Wind's side.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's like another thing, right? Where you're picking such a high tempo team and picking that Blood Moon Haze almost kind of, doesn't really synergize too well. It is an anchor, but we'll see if it's going to be able to pay dividends for Wind. S2 is going to be coming out onto the Celine, landing the sleep.
That's a huge land.
And he's going to hold. He's going to hold the S3 so that the Lilius and the Green Celine cannot activate. And Urban Shadow Shu with 28k HP going to be able to rip an S3 into the Spirit Eye Celine. Not quite proccing Solitude Rune, however.
Ooh, I see what he's going for. You use MO Haste to strip the barrier.
Yep, exactly. He's going to try to all-in that Celine and remove the barrier, as it's not going to have any effect resistance whatsoever. Now he's deciding if he wants to go for an S3, and he decides to go for an S1. Going onto the Blood Moon Haze, who is on Proof of Valor. If this Araz is able to get a defense break on this Blood Moon Haze, he goes for the S2. It doesn't land the defense break. Will this Green Celine be able to kill this Blood Moon Haze with S3? Will he try to go for it? He will. S3. Game 4 on the line. Will this S3 be enough without an attack buff to kill POV? And it's not enough to kill the Blood Moon Haze.
I think that's probably the game.
I would have to agree. Lua is going to go for the S1 to try to break off that barrier on that Spirit Eye Celine. S1 coming out as well.
It's showtime.
Honestly, it doesn't even look like he needs the Blood Moon Haze.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He's going to go ahead and S1 onto the Lilius. Blood Moon Haze now has Soul Burn, so he can go for the Soul Burn S1 instead of S3 to risk it. And that does finish off the Spirit Eye Celine. S1 extra hit going onto the Lilius, healing himself just by a tad bit. And I reckon this is going to be the FF from Hazamarei. I don't think you're going to be able to win this at the spot.
I must agree. We need to stop seeing the Celine unit be picked. The green one, I mean. Like Lua didn't press S3, and now we're just down a unit? How could that be? But yeah,
I would have to agree.
The series is going to be tied up going into Game 5. Whoever wins this game 5 will be 1 game away from match point. Oh wait.
And the deeper we go, the more pre-ban stack. I mean, these players are gonna have to reach deeper and deeper into their bag to try to play one meta behind and another meta behind and another meta behind. So let's see what other units are gonna be picked in this round 5.
We finally see Luna being pre-banned by both sides. We also see the Solitaria pre-ban, which means he really wants to pick Afternoon So Flan here, which he would do straight away. But we have seen Win pull out the Eagles. We can't forget about that.
Yep, that's a great point. And for those of you that couldn't see, New Moon Luna are banned on both sides, and Bellion and Solitaria are now banned out.
Oh, I was told Win was actually the E7 China League, China Championship winner, the right side. So it was like the E7 World Cup winner was the China winner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know he had an account in like Asia server.
Yeah. Someone in my chat just told me that.
So Eligo is being picked up, like you mentioned. Obviously, one of the last counters, or quote unquote hard counters for the Afternoon Soak Flan, since the Litica, the Sea Phantom Politis, the Solitaria are all banned out. Eligos makes a lot of sense in this spot.
I was fully expecting him to wait to pick Eligos until 3, but maybe he's scared
Yes.
of Haza picking it.
I would agree. Yes.
Prepare for
Oh,
battle, everyone.
Haza is not backing down.
Shall I attack?
The Veronica Sid. I mean, if I'm Win, I'm just slowing down. Like, I don't see any need to speed up here.
100%.
Like, FCC is still open. Like, just get me to FCC and I will I'll gladly take FCC here if I was Wind.
Yeah, and I think that something I want to point out is that might be why Hazamarei did go for like a Dragon Bride Senya earlier on in the draft, as Asia players are known to play quite aggressive throughout the matches. So we can kind of see where maybe that is going to pay off a little bit here.
This is only a
Yup, there we go. Win chooses to slow down with Fallen Cecilia and the Politis as well. So I'm a bit surprised by the Politis.
Do you think he picked Politis to try to counteract the Veronica? Like if Sid just procs Genua turn 1 kind of thing? Like what is the... I'm trying to think what the rationale is for picking the Fire Politis here.
Yeah, I don't think it's the strongest pick here.
Shadow elves.
But
Oh man, Arya. Oh man, let's hope that Arya is gonna be able to do her job. I gotta say, every time I picked Arya into Genua, that Genua crits me every time.
I mean, I'm not even sure if Arya's gonna be able to get the turn though. With FCC, this Eligos, I don't see how this Eligos dies.
What if I told you it's a 300 speed Arya?
Then he got me, I guess.
No.
SSB as well. SSB is I think is a decent pick here, but don't forget Eligos does get hit chance.
Yes. I mean, especially with no mitigation, that Eligos is gonna rip a ton of damage.
Aiden, this is gonna be the oh, okay, that's more like it. Arbiter of Eldred.
No more Aidens, man. We've seen it yesterday. That thing does not dodge.
Yeah, I think Aiden lost every game yesterday, right?
Yeah, I believe so. All right, Hazamarei completing his ban here. Who is Win gonna want to ban out? And we do see the Arya get banned out, so SSB will be left out on the field. This is going to be a very tall order for SSB to win if it does come to that point in the draft. But we'll see exactly who takes the first turn. Will it be Hazamarei or will it be Win in round number 5 to put it into a 3-2 lead? Sid is going to be able to get the first turn.
Do you ever just S1? Oh, yes, he does.
S1, yep. He stuns the Genua!
That's
And now the
huge.
Veronica is going to be able to cut forward and get the S3 into an S1 to drag the flan forward again. That is a huge stun.
Oh, he's actually gonna go for FCC here. Does he get the defense break? He does.
S3, he does land the defense break and the bomb. This flan is going to rip. And Wind recognizes the loss immediately, and Hazamarei takes away game number 5.
Great recognition by Hazamarei here to go for the Veronica against Genua. Let's see if Win
That's just...
will bring us to a game 7, or will Hazamarei close it out in 6?
Speed is king. Speed really is king.
Yeah, speed is definitely king. I saw someone say Hazamarei in 6.
I mean, if there's anyone to bet your money on, if you were a betting man, I think that's a pretty safe pick.
Yep. We see both sides banning Celine, Hazamarei actually choosing to ban Lua this time, and Win choosing to ban
What, you think this is a joke?
the Araz.
You can see
Ooh, it looks like he goes straight for the Shu yet again. It's not a bad idea because FCC is gone, right? So Shu is really strong in the turn 2 versus turn 2 game.
Yeah.
Well, is there any openers left?
Ran.
No. Honestly, he could kind of prepare himself for Iran.
I smell living creatures.
Ooh, Amen were getting picked up by Hazamarei early on.
We saw him do this in game 3, I believe it was, or was it game
Yes.
4? And it was pretty successful for him there. So why not again?
Why not again, indeed?
Only when all are dead will this end.
BBK, the first BBK we've seen this series. BBK used to be the super dominant hyper carry or creep character, and she kind of fell off a bit, but with Veronica being gone from the previous game, BBK is definitely really strong here.
100%.
Something to note is there's also no Yuffie, no Poe, which means all of the CR manipulators are gone from the game. So we could definitely see Hazamarei bring out something like the Frida, a mid. Let's see what Win has to potentially prevent that. So he goes for the A Tyrant yet again. Perhaps he's scared of the Ran. And the Albedo.
He's definitely scared of the Ran. If you're picking the Albedo on 3, which is definitely one of the most natural counters into Ran with the mitigation, but also it's a green unit where you could set up for a potential green Senya, right? So, but typically you would want to see green Senya on 3, but because he is first pick, he's not going to be able to do that, as Hazamarei could be able to pivot, and looks like pivot he will do. DJB is going to be picked up by Hazamarei to counteract the prod set with the Gala on 4. Immediately Win, not wasting any time, picking up the Blood Moon Haste on 4 in response to the heavy front damage of Gala Lilius.
How about something like Rimuru here? Thoughts and feelings? Maybe even Ruel? Something like that?
Laro in my chat said, to make it clear, the right side one is not ECL winner. ECL 2024 winner is also Hazamarei.
Oh, I guess he's just the GOAT. He just wins everything he does.
And Amiki being picked up by Wind.
Oh my god, Amiki to slow down our draft again? He wasn't even in that bad of a spot, and once again he chooses to go for Amiki. I guess this time there's no defense buff Bellion going around. But that ADS we see was 21k from earlier.
There's one pick I would love to see from Hazamarei.
What is it? Was
I
that?
was thinking Mort, but
I think I like Strays a bit more because if you pick Mort, it's perhaps a 50-50 ban unless he decided that he wants to ban something else.
yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
yeah,
you know
but
what?
the strays.
You know what's huge about this Strays change? If you S3 and kill a knight and it procs haste, you can strip the haste immediately after.
Yeah.
So yeah, honestly, that was a great Strays pick. I think I like it way more than your Mort pick.
Well, that's why he's the GOAT and I'm just a caster. You think Strays is killing through Albedo?
Yeah, don't forget this DJB first.
Yeah, the barrier inversion, that's true. It will take away a lot of the barrier, or take out all the barrier, rather, I should say. All right, into Game 6 we go. Hazamarei is up 3-2. Will he be able to close off the series here? DJB is going to be able to take the first turn. S2 will push back. not push back this Shu, but it will push back everybody else. S3 coming out, providing the immunity for the entire team and boosting that Strays forward. And remember, this Strays is going to be able to set up for BBK.
This Strays is definitely killing. No doubt in my mind about that.
And Strays is going to rip the S3. He will get the extra turn immediately here. And it does kill off the Albedo. S2 coming out, stripping off the barriers and immunity.
Oh my
Now,
god.
Ameru will have a seal. But the A Tywin does still have cleanse. Remember this. So the seal can get insta-cleansed off. How is Hazamarei going to play this out? S1 going onto the A Tywin, dragging that Strays forward. S2 going to be coming out as well, providing a little bit more chip damage for the BBK if he decides to rip it. And he goes for the Soulburn S3. This is for sure going to be able to kill the A Tywin. Will it be enough to kill? He's going to go ahead and kill out the Shu as well, I reckon. It is POV haste. It will be able to tank it. S1 killing out the Shu. Will this get lapped? S1 coming out. Blood Aura with a 30% speed is going to be a huge deal for the Blood Moon Haste here. S1 coming out. Will it stun? It does not hit a stun.
It cuts
Blood Moon Haste with 29k HP. It will have enough to revive the entire team now. This is for all the marbles. Will this Blood Moon Haste, will he be able to do it?
I go for Strays.
He has to go for Strays. That's the winning play. And I do not see a 15%. Oh, he goes for the Ameru instead. Strays is going to closely follow behind. He is going to be able to strip off all of the immortality, but he won't be able to get any kills.
He doesn't have S2. He doesn't have S2.
Oh, sorry. Yes, he doesn't have S2. And there is the S1 that's going to be going off onto the Blood Moon Haste. Shu is going to go into S3 and go into hiding. Albedo could potentially land an unbuffable on that BBK as well. And don't forget, A Tywin also has S3 available.
If he gets the stun onto BBK here, I think he wins the game.
I think so too. This is for everything. This is for his tournament life. Will Win be able to land the stun onto the BBK? He does crit the Strays, S3,
He
he does not land the stun onto the BBK.
You have to go for the unbuffable. I don't think you have a choice here. If you go for the
I would have to
unbuffable,
agree.
Shu can finish.
S3 with the Albedo. He's going to be going on to the BBK. Will it land the unbuffable for his tournament life?
He does.
And it does.
That's what matters.
It does. It lands and it strips the immunity on the same hit. BBK with 1 HP. It will be in range of dying. Blood Moon Haste now does have souls for a Soulburn to get off any buffs. But the DJB will cut, so there are no buffs for the Blood Moon Haste to steal.
Hazamarei needs a dual attack. Oh, wait. This heal
S1,
might be
Soulburn.
enough,
It will heal.
though. Oh, no, it's not
Will
enough.
the Shu be enough to kill?
Shu has Soulburn. It's definitely enough to kill, right? Surely.
S1,
No!
and it
Oh,
does kill.
It does.
It does kill.
And I think that's
And
game.
Blood Moon Haste is right there. Yep.
Oh well.
Shu has an empowered S3. This is going to be going to a game number 7, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been alt-tab up to this point, let's full screen. Because we're going to game 7. Hazamarei really being tested by Wind. Wind is not giving up and not backing down.
I must say that A Tywin came in clutch there. ADS was unable to steal Haste and had to put the S1 onto A Tywin, which means that Haste was able to get his S3 off and secure the kill.
Yeah. Game 7. Oh my days. We are currently looking at 24 units being pre-banned with another 4 into Game 7. We have 28 units pre-banned with an additional 10 from Game 6 not available. That is 38 units off the board. We are going to have to reach deep into the bag for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we talk about time and time again why first pick is so advantageous. And with Game 6 going into Wind's favor, Hazamarei is going to be able to take that first pick. And we do see the Veronica Flan being pre-banned by
Good read.
Wind.
Good
and
read
Elagos
by,
and FCC are going to be pre-banned by Hazamarei.
Good read by Win pre-banning the Flan, right?
Yes.
Hazamarei does look a bit stun locked. There's no Veronica, so no Ilanav, but there is still DN. But it's hard to pick DN into someone like Hazamarei, because at any moment's notice, he could just completely speed up and run you over.
Oh, a great point by someone in chat, Cyrus G. It's not 28 units. There's technically 24 units banned, as there is a little bit of overlap. So that's a great point. Thank you for that.
I'm not too late.
But you get the point. It can be up to 28 into Game 7. And Janua being picked up by Hazamarei, and with Ilana being pre-banned from game number 2, Dien is going to be one of the best units left to provide some form of pen resistance to try to deal with this Janua.
You've got this.
Dien Toy, a really common combo in last season.
May this scent remain for
Vivian.
Sylvian Sage Vivian coming out on second pick from
Oh!
Dien or from Hazamarei, and the Faithless Litica being picked up as well.
Don't forget, there's no CR threats, which means the only thing Win could do to prevent Athletica here is to speed up.
There's no Abyssal Euphine, there's no Fire Politis available. So this Faithless Litica will absolutely be able to S2 into an S3 chain,
Wait,
unless Wind
careful not to get
Wind actually not backing down. He picks up Frida?
all right, take that back. Fire Politis is available.
Oh, sorry, Fire Politis is available. Yeah, you're right. Well, nonetheless, Frida does get picked up with a
Oh!
Wanderer Silk, and Hazamarei says, you know what, I'm not backing down. I'm slamming the 14 imprint in Fire Shuri and the 12 speed imprint in Vildred. And Win says, you know what, I'm not backing down either, and I'm going to imprint up.
Game 7 just goes to an all-out race.
In true Asia fashion, in the land of the speed, who is going to go first? Will it be the crowned winner time and time again in Hazamarei, or will Win be able to knock out the crowd favorite?
Don't forget, this is a spot in for the grand final.
This is for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been tabbed out, it's time to tab in. We are in for a race.
Well, let's see if this Athletica is real. Athletica takes turn 1, and it's over.
And Hazamarei gets the first turn. He has the Soulburn available as well, but he's going to go for the S2, immediately getting the S3. And now S3 is going to be going on to Tori, providing the skill nullifier for the entire team. Frida S3 into the green Sid means that Sid won't be able to get any kill, and the S3 pushing forward with the Vildred, and Wind immediately surrendering. Game 7 going in favor of Hazamarei. We have not seen Hazamarei get tested and pushed to this Game 7, aside from KJ in the Lunatic Mode tournament hosted by Epic 7. But what a series we've had so far, and that will be Hazamarei moving into the grand finals of the Shanghai Cup.
Whoever wins this series is going to have to play.